I'm really struggling with this mic stand, right? Do the research before the gig, is what Google said. Oh, just started taking the mic off. Again, should have done this before. Right, so here we go, guys. This guy is in all of us. Every single one of us. Alright guys, let's, should we start with another little golf clap? We have the Neuroses!
And welcome one and all to the Church of Heavy Metal. This is a completely open and non-profit organisation that I have created for all of you, the sinners. Much like you, I led a long and confusing life. I didn't know where to align myself. I tried all manner of different faiths. I tried getting in with the Christians, the Muslims and the Jews, and they all rejected me. The Buddhists didn't really say anything, but I got the message, you know that way. I tried speaking to the devil, and I offered him my soul. And the devil said to me, "Soul, do me a favour. We've got souls down here, mate. We're trying to get 5 minutes to ourselves, and they show up in spite of us." So then I turned to God, and upon granting me his audience, God said unto me, "Suck my infinite cock, Neuroses. No one comes to me second." So I thought, fuck it, I could do with a few tax breaks, and I started this. So welcome one and all to the Church of Heavy Metal. We shall not cast aside the elderly, the infirm, the morbidly obese, or the bi-curious, for they all have blackness in their souls. There shall be no violence here unless someone is being a dick. We shall revere our Lord Ozzy, who was born on this night 2,000 years ago in a stable in Birmingham. Where he was visited by 3 wise men, known to us as Tony Iommi, Bill Ward and Geezer Butler, bearing gifts of an electric guitar, the PA system, and some choice skunk. But we shall also remember his departure from us, in uniting with Sharon and signing a deal with MTV for a hit television program, upon which he was totally and utterly crucified, over and over and over again. Amen. We shall also give thanks to our lords for making black leather underwear both acceptable for men and available in Soho. On this day, we shall take time to remember those metalheads, those poor souls, who searched for the great gathering at Bloodstock, and upon finally finding a car park, wandered aimlessly for days through the wilds of Derbyshire. They drank the juice of the cactus, and lo, they tripped balls, man. They met a shaman, a man of incredible hair length, trailing behind him on the floor like some groupie of impeccable loyalty. He gave them a magic fungus that transported them to the metal party paradise they had envisioned. He said unto them, "Go forth and you shall hear the sounds of Sabbath, and Maiden, and Zeppelin, and the Beatles. For why they are not one of us, they shall have our respects." Lastly, as Day Tripper has a fucking corking riff, can I get a hard rock hallelujah? Hallelujah! Nice. As those metalheads entered the great heavenly mosh pit, My Chemical Romance entered the room, bringing with with them a vacuum, devoid of relativism or humanity, with an overpowering cloud of nausea. Those metalheads that were less fortunate were sucked into the hopeless chasm and re-emerged later as emos. It's in their memory that we dedicate our prayer. Go rest in yonder hotel room in the sky, where you shall find Charlie and your bus passes and drink the nectar of the barley and hops. Amen. Join me now as I recite the 3 commandments. Let it be known that he who tends to the wounds of his fellow moshers shall be thought of when tickets are going spare. Thou shalt always keep a satisfying stash of intoxicants, and only give up conventional cigarettes if your bird insists. And thou shalt always, always remember the names of thy groupies. Yes, thank you, Sharon. Can I get an easy pussy?
Easy pussy!
No, I can't. I like jokes. Follow these steps and you too shall ascend the stairway to heaven. May your shelves be forever heaving with LPs, and may Boris Johnson be speared anally upon stale baguettes. Amen. I shall now be opening the floor to confessions. Does anybody here have anything that they'd just like to get off their chest?
No.
Me first, fine!
What?
I wasn't always like this. I used to have a real face and identity. It was an event in my adolescence that changed me. It's a confusing time. A time when you don't want to be treated as a child anymore, but no one's treating you as an adult either. It's just a confusing mess of maturity, which I theorize is why young people are so fond of animated pornography. Anyway. No, it's good stuff, animated porn. No one gets forced into that. Now, the event in question, I'm sure this will surprise none of you, was my secondary school prom. I went along with it like my friends did, like everybody else did. The assembly hall was close to full. I had a crush on a girl named Karen at the time, who was accompanied by a boy called Chris. I never met him before, but I hated his guts anyway. I'll tell you this, there are 2 kinds of good-looking men in this world, right? There are cute guys and there are handsome guys, and it's the cute ones you have to watch out for. Because those fuckers know they're good-looking. They are wankers and they'll take it back. Sorry. That was the time. Yeah, I am looking at you, mate. My friend Steve snuck in a hip flask full of vodka. I shouldn't have trusted Steve, the man who would one day fill me up with LSD, blindfold me and push me into a car wash. I was in there for 45 minutes. Went over twice. Very slowly. Now, Steve snuck in a hip flask full of vodka. A small group of us drank it together in a toilet cubicle. I saw myself as the funny one even back then. I would try to tell him jokes and make him laugh, and while I did get the odd titter back, I soon vomited from a combination of vodka and disappointment. I'm sure we can all relate to that, especially you, Mark. Now, I remember, around this time, there was a certain trend going around for retro. You know, I say retro, but really the word they were looking for was 1998. A certain song came on. Never Had a Dream Come True by S. Pep 7. I'll take it, we're familiar? Yeah. Familiar enough, it's decent enough for 90s pop, I suppose. If that's what you're into. I enjoyed the first chorus and swayed around the dance floor, filled with mild affection, and then it happened! It was a gradual realization, dawning on me like a first pube. I mean, everybody was paired up, gazing into each other's eyes, mouthing the words, "I love you," how insensitive. And there I was, just a mere solo among the duets, yet again. I never felt so insecure in my life, and all of it just piled on top of me too suddenly and too heavily. I just felt so empty inside. Do you want to know how empty inside? Do you want to know how empty I felt inside? There, that's how empty I was! My soul at prom night! Without the light. I darted around desperately trying to seek a way out of this labyrinth of smug happiness. Too bad I'd already vomited, otherwise I'd clear the way much sooner. I eventually broke out, ran home, shoved my head into my trousers and decided to become a character actor. To this day, whenever I hear that song, it all just comes rushing back. I heard it once in a nightclub in Luton and I woke up 4 days later in a fucking zoo! Have you ever seen the look of an ostrich taken by surprise? I have! All I'm trying to say is, my adolescence wasn't one worth envying. There's no use in looking back or wondering how things could be now or might have been. All this I know, but still I can't find ways to let Karen go. I never had a dream come true till the day that I found... Okay, I've got to be frank about this. I don't know exactly what it was that I found, but all I know is that I did find it, and I know that everyone else on this lineup has found it, and I'm willing to bet that most, if not all of you, have found it. It's whatever that little spark of inspiration is that compels someone to start up a hobby like this and attempt to turn it into a career. Who knows, maybe your hobby is also going into pubs and singing S Club 7 just as a give. But this is the point. I am now a practicing stand-up and character act. I've been invited to the opening night of Big Smoke Comedy. This is a lifestyle I've been wanting for years. Who says that dreams don't come true? S Club 7, those bastards! Heavy metal be with you and all that shit. Good night.
Alright, this next lady is, that was weird, but this is weirder. And the American half, very slick, very good. No, it was good, it was good. I honestly always sound sarcastic, but I'm not. Right? This lady is my favourite person in the whole universe. By the way, I've got a girlfriend and this is not her. She's here tonight. No, she's not. She does not approve of this. Has she got her own stage?
Yes, she has.
No, she's better than me. For example, I offered her a spot on this night.